Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. If my memory serves me correctly, it was, that's right, last Thursday that I sat here in front of you all and said that I wasn't going to spend any more money on watches, and here I am. Well, technically I didn't spend any more money on watches. I did buy a new watch box, a delicious looking big orange and brown Windsor by Wolf, which came to me from Massdrop. I'm going to show you that today and also show you how I store the ridiculous number of watches that I have in the house. Also, it's been a while since I looked at a watch winder. This Chiyoda was sent to me by Safe Buy Mall for review. Now, winders are a big part of what I do on the channel. I bought this Wolf one again from Massdrop around the middle of last year, and these boxy fancy bricks came in towards the end of last year. This Chiyoda is just under $100. There's a 5% discount code in the description of the video, but Safe Buy Mall also have a bunch of cheaper winders from about $40 per unit. Let's flip the camera then, have a look at the box first and then the winder. New watch box. Look at this brown and orange beauty. Now, as you can perhaps imagine, with a somewhat obsessive personality and a YouTube watch review channel, my personal watch collection has expanded considerably over the last couple of years. Lots of new pieces in addition to the ones that were already there. Now, I did a State of the Collection video back in December last year. I'll leave a link to that one in the description below. And there were a fairly obscene number of watches in the house. At that point, it has only got worse since then. So I bought this one with one eye on thinning out and rationalizing towards a State of the Collection video coming up in early December this year. So how do I organize my watches at the moment? Well, I have this Wolf double winder, also bought from Massdrop in the middle of last year. Currently home to my Aura 65 and the Juno Ocean Rover. These two are getting ready for an upcoming 10-round watch boxing special. I tend to put my own pieces in the Wolf, stuff that I wear semi-regularly and want to keep moving. So that's storage for two. I also have this gorgeous thing that my wife bought me a couple of years ago. Kind of artisanal, she got it from Etsy. Apparently this beautiful piece of kind of woodwormed old wood used to be a barn in Texas before it became my watch box here in Sydney. Now, as you can see, this stores 8 pieces. I tend to put either the high value stuff or the high sentimental value stuff, or a combination of both in here. This is one of Mr. X's Rolexes due for review soon. New Stratton Special, old Casio. Couple of Omegas I've had, and my granddad's watch in the back corner. So that is 8 plus the 2 in the Wolf, we're up to 10. And then I've got this. This is my kind of B box, if you will, home to a bunch of my Casios. You know how much I love these Casios. Though I gotta say, I'm gonna have to thin them out a little bit. Do I really need 2 Royals? Do I really need 2 calculators? The gold data bank is going off to my sister, and I'm sure I will lose a few of these between now and Christmas. But 10 in this box, plus there's a bit of storage in here. I've got some Cape Cod, various bracelets and straps and little bits and pieces. But this one isn't particularly fantastic. I picked it up on eBay, but the glass is cracked. Didn't cost me an awful lot of money. So when I saw the Wolf on Massdrop, I thought that it was high time I gave my Casios and some of my other pieces a little bit of love and upgraded them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So this big lump is a Wolf Windsor box in brown with orange cushions. As you can see, it's a 10 piece, and there's another nice little drawer down there for jewellery storage, for little trinkets and so on. I'll fill that up as I go. Now, these appear fairly regularly on Massdrop. I bought the winder on Massdrop as mentioned. I missed out on this particular model the last time, so when it came up, the price was reasonable. I did obviously have to pay a chunk of postage to get it over here to Sydney and import tax, but it was still cheaper than buying one from an Aussie vendor, so that's what I did. Quality is pretty good, if not outstanding. You know, you read reports on these Wolf winders about kind of glue overspill and things not being quite stuck together as they should, but it's all right. PU leather rather than real leather. You're not getting a real leather box at this price. And I must say, I think the cushions are perhaps a little bit on the small side. I've got a 7-inch wrist. I've already popped a bracelet on one of these ones. I think if you've got a big guy, 7.5, 8-inch wrists, your watches are going to sit a little bit loose, a little bit floppy on those cushions, so just bear that in mind if you're looking at one of these for yourself. So there is a look at one of the 10 cushions that it comes with. Again, you know, quality is okay if not outstanding for the cash. And that's one with my SKX013 attached, as mentioned, 7-inch wrist. It fits reasonably, a little bit of give there, not too snugly. I reckon if you do have larger wrists though, they might flop around a little bit on these slightly undersized cushions. So there we are, that's the little jewellery tray, my granddad's old pocket watch, some bits of jewellery that I never wear because I'm not a jewellery guy, and a couple of spare straps and bracelets for my top pieces, and a bunch of cufflinks. Again, I don't even think I own a shirt with French cuffs these days, but I'm sure they will sit there until they are required. So there we are then, the Wolf Windsor 10 watch box. A welcome addition to the household, much more attractive than the model that it replaces, and I'm sure these guys are all feeling a little bit special in their new home. Really liking the look of that. Love those orange colours. If you saw me unbox the Stratton Special, you noticed I picked the orange and brown one, so no problem with the colour tones. Let's see how many of these guys can survive the impending cull. Let's see how many of them are here for the State of the Collection video in November. The SKX here and the Vostok Amphibia both have major modifications due to them before then. Okay, on to the winder then. This is going to be a bit of a pain to film, for it is large and it is shiny. As noted, this is a Chiyoda from safebymall.com. Safe by Mall don't sell watches, but they do have a bunch of winders. This one comes in at a smidge over $100 including shipping. There's a 5% discount code in the description of the video, and yes, plenty more of them available. To be honest, I think I picked the wrong one. This one's alright, it looked a bit fancy, which is why I picked it, but I should probably have selected one of their lesser value items. This double one here at $80 odd looks like it perhaps offers more bang for your buck than the one I selected. Maybe next time Safe by Mall will give me a crack at one of those. So in terms of dimensions, it's about 6 inches wide by about 7.5 inches tall. Just takes a single watch. You can see the cushion there. All plastic, high gloss piano black finish with a little bit of faux walnut plastic veneer wrapping around the midsection. But the most interesting part of this winder is actually at the rear. As you can see, this one is fully adjustable. On the left toggle switch, you can switch it from left rotation, right rotation, or bi-directional. And on the right, there are a total of 4 different numbers of rotations per day. It came with an instruction manual, which of course I haven't opened. Don't be ridiculous. What I did though was I used a test watch. I used the Neymar Tudor Homage that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. That one had been running in the Wolf winders on the left there. You can see the graphic at just about plus 9 seconds a day, so I had a pretty reasonable benchmark. I then popped it into this Chiyoda winder. It started at plus 12 a day, but with a little bit of tweaking, adjusting the settings, I got that down to within COSC parameters plus 3 seconds a day. If you can get an NH35 running at COSC, that is not bad, is it? The cushion contained within is fairly unspectacular, shall we say. Does provide a reasonable housing for a single watch. This is my trusty SKX 013 7-inch wrist, and it should fit nice and snugly around the cushion. So there is the Chiyoda spinning away, wedged into my wall of wonder by some typically cheery and light reading materials. I must say it is presentable enough to be located in a living room. Doesn't look out of place at all on my shelf, looks quite nice, but it is a little bit noisy. I would suggest that this one is for man caves or living rooms rather than your bedside cabinet. You wouldn't really want this one sitting next to your head as you slept, or I wouldn't anyway. Noisier than the boxy fancy breaks that are underneath it. But as I said, doesn't look out of place here in the living room. Overall though, I might steer you in the direction of one of the cheaper pieces from Safe by Mall or elsewhere rather than this Chiyoda. At $90 odd, including the discount, probably not luxurious enough to house your luxury pieces, probably not cheap enough if you just want to have a bit of fun and keep a couple of cheaper pieces on the go. I mean, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it, and it's a reasonable warranty on the motor, but it kind of splits the difference between a good, expensive luxury winder and the kind of cheaper stuff. So there you have it. Technically, I didn't break my rule by spending any money on watches. I did, however, buy that box, and isn't it a cracker? It really should play home to my Stratton, that brown and orange super 70s colours or what. Now the Chiyoda winder, I don't mind admitting that I got it wrong. I should have asked Safe Buy Mall to send me that double for about 80 bucks. I think there's probably more value in that one than there is with this one. Nothing wrong with it at all, and the fact that it has that adjustability means that you can super tune it to the watch of your choice. Again, one of the advantages of having a winder if you have a collection that's getting a little bit unruly. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.